What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Hammer the Nail. This is Nail Volume 2, featuring the homie Fachetti, a purple belt out of Team Link. So let's get into it. So here, I tried to go for my normal pass with the knee cross across this bottom leg of his to pin it and then be able to make my way to my opponent's head and then pin his back on the mat. But what's something he did really good is he stayed on his side, he clamped on my leg, and then his arm right here is keeping my knee from sliding through. So I'm trying to force his body back on the mat, and then obviously he's trying to keep this knee from coming through to keep his composure in his position. So I'm really trying to get this leg through. I'm trying to sneak it past, because if I can get this leg through, then I'm past his guard, and then I'm on his side, and then we're in side control. But he's doing a great job at making sure that this leg stays locked down. So I keep going to the left, because I can feel my legs slowly start getting free from his thighs. That's why he grabs this knee and he clamps down even harder, because he can feel it coming free too. One thing he does really well here is that he keeps all of this really tight, and the human skeleton can only go so far. So I start moving to try and keep freeing this leg, but he's not moving at all. So I'm moving around my own knee, right? And eventually I can't go anymore, and you can kind of see it in my face when I realize. But I really wanted to turn him. So at this point, I felt that I can't keep going around in circles. I'm gonna pop off my own knee, right? So I reached for this shoulder, because I was able to get enough of an angle where he wasn't belly down, basically. So he's more perpendicular. So I grabbed this shoulder to have a good anchor point, and I'm gonna try and seep back so I can go chest to chest, wrestler style, put his back on the mat, and then kind of force my leg free, because he has a tight grip, but I think if I can get his back on the mat, it'll loosen up all that space over there. But he's fighting it, so he's trying to go belly down, I'm trying to put his back on the mat, and that torque on my knee starts becoming too much. Once it hits too much and he goes too far belly down, I let go completely, and his face right here is like, ow, my knee hurts. And as you can see, it's at a weird angle. So I gently let go, and I kind of just feel where he's gonna go, so I don't blow out my own knee here. And then we kind of reset, we get this position, and then I immediately try and go for this arm bar. So I have his arm tucked in this back pocket here, and I brought this knee up. He's fighting, we're both hand fighting with this left one. With my right hand and his left hand. But I'm still trying to sneak this in and keep everything here really nice and tight so I can get this arm here. While we're hand fighting, I rest it on his shoulder, and then my other leg here is kind of clamping, kind of like a lobster clamp shell around his body, just so I can wait so I can get this leg in front of his head, and then tilt my body and then go for the arm bar. Your boy looking chunky. So there's the pivot there. I used my arm as help, because he was putting a lot of pressure down, so there wasn't a lot of space for me. So I extended with my right arm to help me pivot to the side. And then here we go for the arm bar right here. Now, I wanted to bring my leg over his head, right? You saw me release it, and we're in great position here. But he's slowly getting his arm out of the break pocket, and then he's starting to control this arm here, which this arm had his wrist. So we're fighting, and I unload the arm bar because I knew I was gonna lose the grip on the wrist, and then once I lose the grip on the wrist, I lost the arm bar. But once I unload the arm bar, I make sure to keep this grip on the back of his tricep here, so I can try and go for it again. Here's me just readjusting. Tried to bring the arm across my chest. He grabbed my lapel, so I just tried to get it inside the lapel. Here we are trying to physically adjust him where I need him to go. Here, I try for the arm bar again, but there's not enough of the arm in the break pocket for me to fully extend and try and get the break here. But I wanted to go belly down, and sometimes I like trying new techniques, especially when they appear here. I wanted to Go belly down, go to my knees, because I still have this arm in between my legs, and then try and go for a rolling omoplata. But he does a great job and creates so much pressure on my hips that I can't fully round out. Grabs my lapel here to make sure he stays nice and tight. Now I have no room and my legs are pinned, and I'm kind of stuck here, and I can't rotate the way I want to. I'm still holding on to his wrist with my arm underneath my leg, and he's fighting to let go. And then now I'm just kind of pinned in a bad position. He goes to side control. So we're framing, right? We're trying to get this knee in here. He's trying to go to mount, and then we go to this deep half here. So I've been working this deep half. That right there is one of the issues of it. Is people go for the cross face to try and separate your head from their leg. But there's a couple things going on there. So I was trying to keep my head connected, so I pushed it through here. Once I pushed it through, I tried to kick with this back foot to straighten out this leg so I can get underneath him. And I went for the sweep, but he moved his leg inward, like he should have, to keep me from hooking this foot, bringing it out, and then I'd be able to rotate underneath him. So I pushed his arm away, boom. Then I went for this immediately because I knew I didn't have much time here before he went for it again, but I missed. He starts getting it in deeper, and then I kicked my hips back to try and suck his leg out, which it did a little bit. So I was going to try and go for the hook sweep again to try and get this foot to go that way. So I'm switching my hips from on my side, and I switched them back real quick to readjust his leg to try and open it up again. Right? And then I try and dug deep. The problem with me readjusting is it gave him so much more real estate on the side of my body. So when I went back into the pocket, I have all of this in my way where my head should be. So there was no way, even if I did sweep this, that I'd be able to get underneath him properly. So I start to abandon this position. Go back to frames. And now we're here. When I was rolling, I honestly felt like he was a lot higher up on my body. So I was gonna go and try and roll over my shoulder and bring him over. Now, Fichetti, I believe he weighs a little bit more than me, so this is gonna be a difficult maneuver anyway. But like I said, I felt like he was a lot higher than he was. This is me trying to reach for some height. He was right across perpendicular to my body. So you can't just pop up on your elbow because there's not enough room. So I was trying to reach up to then slide to my elbow, which is a lot easier mechanically when you have weight on you. But I still wasn't able to get enough. There was me going for the roll, and then he took the opportunity to unhook and then go to side control. I'm tired here because this is just a tiring sport, so I'm taking a little breath. He's going for a choke on my neck, so I'm just trying to protect that. And then I go to the side to try and get this knee in. But he has a really good wide base, so there wasn't a lot of room to begin with. So I just kind of bumped into his knee, and then he goes to north-south. I hate being in north-south because you just can't breathe here. So I'm trying to make enough room and then get this knee in to try and reestablish my guard. But he does a good job of shucking off my knee. So I try to get my arms on the outside of his, because if your arms are on the inside of his, then you're fully in the north-south. So you see me swim through there so that my arms are on the outside of his. You can push out, and then you're not completely underneath your opponent. And then we kind of rotate to side control because side control is way better than the north-south. And then I start sneaking this leg in to try and do his hip. There it is. So I readjust, and then I'm angling this knee so I can, any space that I can get in between him so that we can try and square up. But he feels that, and he tries to go to mount at the same time. Right, and then I really bring it up high to see if I can block it, but his knee's already past the line, unfortunately, so we weren't able to stop him from coming over. So what we did instead is we threw our body so that he would have longer to go across, and I was gonna settle for like knee on belly rather than full mount. At least that's what I thought. But he stayed still, and then I kind of rolled to my side and then ended up rolling into the submission attempt. So what I thought was going to happen is, right, try to get my knee in. He's going for full mount. I'm going to roll, and he's going to go into knee on belly, and then we figure out from there. He ended up staying here and then trying to lock up my wrist. So now I'm in a little bit of a pickle. What he wants from this position is to bring his arm and chest up, and then bring my arm to my back, rotate for the break, right? I know that I can't let him bring my arm up, so I have my arm tucked tight to my body. I know this submission doesn't work if I can belly down and keep my arm tucked in front of my body. As soon as my arm goes up and behind my body, this is a wrap, right? So I'm gonna try and go belly down, because if I stay here, he can go for this one. He can transition to an arm bar. He can just do a lot from here. So I can't stay here, and I can't go to my back, because then he just goes north-south or tries to finish it another way that way. So I'm going belly down. So this is me starting to make the turn. I flatten myself out to my side so I can make that part of the roll as short as possible from basically my back to my side. Because if you stay on your back, you got to travel the whole length of your back before you get to your side. So then I kind of cheat here. I do a big jump over to be explosive, right? And that got me almost there. And then he pulls me back. I don't know if you guys could see that. So I almost make it all the way over, and then he pulls my arm to go behind my back. So I have to back up to keep my arm in front of my chest. Watch the sequence again. He locks it up. I'm like, cool, let's go belly down. Slowly but surely pushing down. He goes to pull my arm up. I have to back up to keep my arm in front of my chest, but I'm gonna keep going belly down. And as you see, he rotated around because he wanted to bring that arm up and over, or possibly go for an arm bar. But if I go belly down here, now I gotta worry about my neck and then him getting on my back and all that other stuff, but my arm is protected here. Or it's the best protection that I could come up with in that situation. So boom, he tries to take my back. I'm still rotating. I never stop rotating through that whole entire process because I know that he's trying to take me the opposite way. So I always have to keep my momentum going in the way that I want to go, even if the positions are changing. Right, so I'm trying to belly down so I don't end up in his lap. And he has the seatbelt grip around me. I have this foot on the mat here, and my head is facing down. Like my forehead's on the mat. I'm not in his choke here. He's kind of just has my arm, and then my hand here is stopping this leg from locking in the back control. And we're kind of just gonna go in a circle here, doing a little hand foot fighting. So he tried to scoop up my head here, because he realized he just has my arm, but I'm already kind of 3/4 of the way down. So it goes to scoop my head. I grab that wrist here for leverage 1 and 2 to control it, do our little wrestler swim move up, and then now we're pretty much out. Before I came out of the pocket here, I don't like dealing with Facchetti in his open guard. I rolled with him many times, and I know in his open guard, I'm probably gonna get swept just because he's a really good sweeper. So as I was coming, before I came up, I wanted to lock down at least half guard so I can have something a hold of him. That way it wasn't an open guard and he can sweep and immediately get back on top. So I start fishing for the half guard here before I take my head out. So I boom, get the half guard, cool, I can come out now. And at least I have some type of connection. He's slippery, he ends up in his open guard again, and then my worst nightmare, he's just really good at tying you up, and there's so many things to worry about. So he has his arm on my lapel, breaking my posture, right? So I can't sit up how I want. He has his right hand behind my ankle, so I can't backstep how I want. All I have is this underhook under his leg, and I have this leg free. I immediately want to get rid of this one right here, right? Because if he puts his foot on my hip, he can pull there, and then boom, I go down. So I'm trying to free this foot, but I'm also trying to make sure I'm holding on to this and keeping my balance at the same time while I'm trying to free this. And then, like I said, he's breaking my posture, and I think I don't know what grip I have on this side of him. So he did a little push-pull. So when I'm close to him, it's hard for him to control me. He did a little push-pull to throw me off my balance, and then I can't step with this foot. So I automatically have to take a step back. When I make that step back, that's when he makes the move to get rid of this block here. Swims in, boom, makes a connection, goes for the sweep. After this one step, because of all the tension, there was nowhere for me to go. Boom, tension. I'm at max balance. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't fall over completely in a bad position. So once I felt the tip happening, I just tried to get my knee shield in there, as you can see. And then I'm controlling this hand so he can't control my head. And then we're just trying to figure out, okay, how can we sweep him, basically. I wanted to grab his belt, so I lift his gi out the way, but he ends up climbing up on top of me. So we do a little leg lock down here to make sure that he can't go all the way up my body. And I think he's going for a choke here. So we go to defend our neck, making sure that he can't get free. And here's when I was gonna go for a sweep myself. So I start walking my hips to the my right side. My right thigh is all the way on the ground. So then I can free my left arm, bridge, and bring him over his own leg. So we're walking it over, boom. This arm was supposed to go over, we bridge, and then we try and go for it. He was trying to choke me in between this, so it was interrupting, and then the bell ended up ringing. What I wanted to do, right, we're trying to bring him over in this direction. I wanted to bring this arm in between our bodies because I had a grip on this shoulder with my right arm on this side. So I wanted to double grip that shoulder plus the bridge to bring him over. That was the plan anyway, but the bell ended up ringing. Facchetti did an amazing job holding position this whole round. Had me extremely exhausted, but I learned a lot. I need to move a little bit faster when I get in those tie-ups, and just gotta prevent the De La Riva behind the ankle, especially for that sweep. Here we're just talking about the roll. It's always great to review with your peers about what happened, just so you guys can both get better. Mostly just me. This guy's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking these out. They're really fun to review and go over, and I hope that you guys can find some value in it as well. Don't forget to follow me on all the socials, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.